fun. This time I've done a little bit of research, worked it all out now, how not to crash now, by setting up all the safety features, so it's all good fun. Let's give it a go and see how we get on. Okay, let's just get the train set up. This is the other version of train, this is the M1, which sets up the same, but just everything's in a different place. Charge the brakes up, get those sorted out. Okay, that's the brakes sorted. Not looking like we're picking any passengers up at the moment. What else we got there? Marker lights off actually. Door control. Let's look at that. Because I'm so used to the other one. Lights on. Down here somewhere. There we go. Headlights. Bright. Okay, I'm just going to stand up for a second. Behind me are the safety switches, so I tend to have these all turned on now. Access, which helps. ATC, which is anti-train crashing, which I do a lot. Dead man's pedal. And what's that last one? And get the alerter on. So everything's all now set up. So I've got all safety features are on now, so we should not manage to crash into anything. And let's start. It start bleeping at me quite early in the game, and there's just all the different warnings. At the moment it's got ATC marker up, so there must be a train not too far away. I've been using this game now for 2 or 3 days now, yeah, about 2 days. Finding it easier, still a few niggles with it. Yeah, it looks like we're heading towards White Plains. Few issues with it, so it'll bleep a lot. Should get an alert sound in a minute. Okay, she comes in. She's a fair size. With all the safety switches all turned on, all safety devices, you tend to find we'll be going a lot slower because we're controlled by this system called Access, which will tell you what speeds to be doing. When you're restricted 10 mile an hour, it will cut us down. So, as you can see now, you've got a little red marker. You always do the one that's the lowest. So Access is saying we can run at just 15 miles an hour, but it's actually telling us we can come in at 10. So, and then we've got an arse, which is restricted speed, which is 15. So we're just about to pull up. This should be interesting, to say the least. We're still ahead of time by the looks of it at the moment. Brakes are real sharp on these trains, so okay, we get the doors open. When you obviously come in these middle rails here, you open both sides. They actually board from both sides. I do believe we've just got the one track. So yeah, looks like the door shut, can't see that side. But yeah, it's definitely one track. Okay, we're full, so we'll get the door shut nice and early. I think we've got a bit of a wait. We have here a bit early. Always handy to go and check your billboards, check your rubbish bins. I think I've already done these ones. Get down the other end of the train, which is half of it's still hanging off the track, as you can see. So you do find that you get a lot of short train stations that you only fill up the front carriages. It's a lovely day. I've done this in the snow, which is pretty. And around the sticks we're going to be heading in towards Grand Central, which is a slow ride in once you get there, but we should have all these safety systems going off at some point. Okay, let's make a move. So we're still going to be down at the 10 as we come out of here. Get a lot of bleeping soon going on. Okay, now it says we can get up to 30. When the orange marker disappears, you then go to the blue marker, work to that, which is the access and the ATC. So when there's a train that's pretty close within a certain distance, it will slow us down, send us plenty of warnings, and then when we're really close, it should bring us to a halt. Go back onto the main line now. There we go. And we just have to acknowledge every time those bleeps go off, we just acknowledge it. Once again, you get the two lines up, so we're still where we are on the red marker for now. Orange, red, whatever you want to call it. It looks like red to me. Right, orange marker disappeared, so we can now pick up the old speed. Have a good look outside in a second, and we'll get the train levels. Okay, we're coming close to the station now, so I'm going to brake too. We might actually get a warning before we get in. Cruising down to the White Plains train station. That's good. Very noisy around here. Not so long to wait at this one, so closed. Quite a busy station, lots of people. Down where your HUD is down the right hand corner, you can see where it says 35, that's the speed limiter, and then you've got access, which will cut in when we get close to any issues. We'll get bleeped at again very shortly, but it will keep constantly bleeping. You've got a dead man pedal as well. But since I put all the safety switches on, I have found the game a lot easier to play, less frustrating, because you there we go, do something like, because you can actually, it's more playable. I don't tend to use the safety devices because I wasn't too sure about them, but I was watching a few tutorials. There's one guy who actually really explained everything really well, so you understand what all the systems are all about. There is one of these systems on here, I think it's on the ATC, it actually starts to take control, so you don't really have to do a lot. Slowing down gradually at the moment. Really start to build the pressure up on the brakes. Hopefully I've got this right. And really throw the anchors on at the end here. Oh yeah, spot on. Right. Back there, we've got the doors open, ready to collect your passengers. Very quiet here. Do have a few passengers on board, which is good. So we've got a little bit of a wait here. Another train pulled on the other side. We've got a good minute and a half to wait now, so well on time. So there's still got passengers getting on board, so probably to at least 30 seconds before we do it leave. Sometimes these will wait for the next train. a nice shot of us coming out of this station. Okay, we're nearly set to go. Scars now next. Hopefully we'll keep the time. We'll sometimes get hit by reds and stuff, but just delay it. Done a nice job of the scenery. This is dovetails the latest creation, so you should have the latest technology in it to make it more recent. I have tried some of the safety features elsewhere. That's because I haven't touched any bar for a bit, so that will just give you a dead man problem. It does look good. They've obviously used skybox in this too, which is for the sky, and it turns into sky technology to make it more realistic. Yeah. Okay, I'll just get back in the car before we get close. Yes, I've acknowledged it. Coming in a bit hot, I think. I want to say it's one of them things where you do get used to where to stop after a while. I'll shot this one a little bit. Just a fraction. Yeah. So how far? Oh, just over by a bit. We managed to save the door. Got 2 minute wait, so we've got a little bit of waiting. I'll just go and check these boards to make sure they're done. That's very pretty. Very pretty station. So yeah, we're totally on this time. So it's a big station in that sense. Yes, on my first video I think I mentioned that I wasn't too sure on this game, but I persevere. I tend to persevere with these games. It's like with any game, you think, oh, I'm really not sure I like this, and then when you play with it, when you learn about it, you tend to think, it's not as bad as I thought, and I've actually got into this and keep coming back to it now. So I'm starting to enjoy this one. Apart from the red lights when you get those, and you just cannot do anything about it. I've sat there for. I did actually try and experiment on one of the scenarios that was in. Sat there for 30 minutes waiting for the light to change. Didn't change. And then I noticed I had 2 trains parked up behind me. The other side had several trains parked. So. Sometimes it happens on these timetable runs, but very rarely. I mean, you can normally make them run. I'm getting to like both trains about the same now. This one it's all in front of you, the other one you have to look up. My next challenge will be go huddless, and then the challenge after that is try and figure out, trying to do a stop by using actual station numbers rather than having a stop marker. So it's all the challenges, you just gradually do a bit more and a bit more. I reckon, confident I can do it on London Commuter. Crestwood, I ended up there a lot. Access is still showing, which is good. Yeah, it's nice because you have to. It's another thing you have to do is keep acknowledging those beeps, and then but it keeps you safe, keeps the train moving. And the nice thing about ATC is it lets you know there's a train up ahead, and it will restrict your speed down to sometimes you're only doing 14. Coming in hot again. Oh, bang on. Still keeping with time. Apparently these trains can hold up to 1,000 people, whether I'll take it's true. I do love that bell. Crestwood. A bit more modern than the last one we've just been in, station wise. So, to school. Oh, let's get a move again. So it's 12 miles to the next junction, so this will be interesting. Should get a lot of warnings on the next 12 miles at least. So we're going to be heading into Harlem, so we'll be just outside of the Grand Central. You get a lot of warnings that suddenly you'll go into red and then you've got to try and get your speed down. And then you're trying to acknowledge, do everything at once. So keeps you busy. It's fun. I've preferred it since I put all this stuff on. Keeps. Yeah, I thought, oh, crikey, how am I going to get this done if I keep crashing into trains? But eventually, you do work it out. It's always handy, especially in these kind of things, to go and listen to the experts. Just because it says 60, don't mean you have to do 60. You can be just below that limit, you'll still make it in time. Very, very pretty route, I think. The heart of New York. just keep casting a wary eye down onto your right hand corner where it says 60 in access, because if access changes to ATC, you know the train's not far away. It will warn you. Whereas before I was actually plummeting into trains like there's no tomorrow. Couldn't quite figure out how on earth do they work this system. I was flying in at 65 and just smack straight into a train, but it will tell you to reduce your speed down to 14 if you're close, 30 sometimes. Depends how close you are. You can even park up behind a train when you wait to go in the station. Let's have a few more shots outside while we've got a bit of a distance to travel. Slightly different model train. There we go. So now we move to L, which restricts us down to about 45, I believe. ATC is cut on, so we do have a train ahead of us that's quite close. That will cut us down again if we get too close. So yeah, we are moving pretty close to a train. This is what I mean. So this is now telling me, be careful of a train. You don't have to acknowledge those. You only acknowledge the dead man pedal and the alerter. So it's cut us down to a medium and down to 30, and now it's cutting us down to 14 because we're getting really close. So it's obviously parked and we're actually being stopped. It'll keep warning me now until actually stop me there because I was just testing it to see. Right, come on, that's it. We can creep forward. Right, is that going to come back to white? Yeah. We can creep forward. A bit closer to the reds. So forward there's a train up there somewhere. Yeah, and then yeah, for a minute we'll have a look. So this is us. So we're heading that way. So in the station, is it? Yeah, there it is. No. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's see if we can go forward. Denied, wait for signals. Okay. What it's holding us up for. Just checking I'm right. So there's train. Is he on the same track? No. Okay, that's the reason why. There's a train on our line coming this way. So we should in a minute. He's just going past now. Should get at least a yellow. I would have thought. Yeah, he's going onto our line, so Okay, now we can go. Still warning us we've got a train close by, and it's also telling us we're on a limited speed, which is going to be 45-ish. And we just have to acknowledge, because we're getting close to a station, we have to acknowledge as well. Okay, so let us run to 60, so it's back onto access, so the train's moved away far enough so we can speed up, but we'll probably catch it up. Be mindful of your speed. I will get caught out eventually, but up there, we can go out to 75. I'm still on access. Reduce speed. Every time you reduce speed, you'll get the bleeps because you have to acknowledge. Just slowed down, ready for your next speed limit. So we'll reduce a little bit quicker. Yeah, we've had to acknowledge that because we're now coming to the marker. When you go up speed, you don't have to acknowledge it, it's only when you come down. We're on such a big run and we're going through stations, we're catching trains quite quickly, so the other trains will be doing multiple stops, so this is where it all gets interesting when you you do these kind of runs. Really close now, we're getting more built up. Right, can't move until that red light goes out, and then we can go to 75. Post this a little bit as we're going downhill. You get used to looking down and looking to see if it's access or ATC, because as soon as ATC cuts in, that's, like I said before, it's when you know your train's not that far ahead. We'll probably be okay up to Harlem, I think. I just never get used to the braking of the train, because I do come down to speeds too quick sometimes. We will have to acknowledge again when we get down. Let's leave that for a bit and see what happens. Slows down quite quick. ATC's cut in, so we've got to get down quite quickly. ATC has slowed us right down. Come on. I think that's got a penalty brake, so what we'll do. Fully at 11, release the brake. We'll reset. And that down to 10. Repump the pressure. Because I was going way too fast, way too long. Didn't come down quick enough. And then we can... No, don't do that, don't do that. That's it. I'll do it. Probably giving us a green, so still says ATC, so we still might get a few issues. Probably got a train parked up above by now. They're normally quite frequent. Happens, but it's better than crashing into a train. Normally I'm pretty good on that. I tend to get down pretty quick. Yes, this cuts down to M, which is medium, which is going to be 30 mile an hour. So we're on a yellow. ATC is cut in, so we know we've got a train not too far ahead of us. Yeah, it's parked in the station, so it's going to slow us down a bit more in a minute. We'll take us to restricted at some point. There you go. A little bit slow. That time I was just in on that one, so it's going to hold us to a red, which has warned us about as well. All the alerts going off everywhere. Hopefully we won't get held up for too long. There's a train ahead of us there. Yes, yes, yes. We're getting so close to the reds. So I'm just gonna wait and see. And this fella moves, if he does. Also check behind you, it's always handy to check, see if there's anything coming behind you. There's normally something along the route. Look pretty clear for now. So we're already over time, by the looks of it. Yeah, we are well over time now. So you can try this. You might say, yeah, we've got to wait for two. Sometimes they'll allow you through to park up behind them, waiting for them to move, but hopefully he's going to move off at some stage. He's actually on a different route to us. Line, but is he going to be creeping onto ours possibly? Oh yeah, he's going to come off here and go onto our line, so we've got to wait for him. He's going to come out to our line here. Green further up. While we're waiting, let's have a look. And that's our destination. Times I don't know if it's a bug in the game or what, but sometimes you end up waiting a long time. This could be another one of those. I'm just wondering at the minute. I'd have expected it to move by now. Does seem to be sitting for a bit. Look inside the train. headlights are nicely on. Marker lights are off, which is good. I guess that's me at board. A few passengers on board. It's got a big train. The other thing we can do on here is just, I always tend to make sure there's nothing parked up behind me. You certainly don't seem to be going anywhere fast. Built up area. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're not going to be going anywhere. We won't move anytime soon. He's having a snooze, who knows. I'll give it a little while longer. Well, I think we've been safe for about 3 minutes so far, so not letting us through, so might be the better option, take a car today. Yeah, we're not far from our destination, but we don't seem to be moving anywhere. Oh mate, you want to move that one? Go on, say little one. Shift it. Minutes over, so they're really late now. It's partly why I don't know. I mean, they prove me wrong every time I say, "Oh, looks like it's not going to go anywhere," and then suddenly they move. But it's definitely not moving. As far as I can get close to them. That's it. That's as far as I can get. Yeah, he really isn't going anywhere, is he? Letting on there. You do end up with trains normally parking up behind you. This is the letdown to the game, is that sometimes you have what I call dead trains, and it looks like they might have a dead train in front of us. So, you know, how long do you have to wait? You know? I'm not waiting an hour when I could be doing other stuff. I think it's another dead train. Anyways, you've got to see the safety systems in action, which was actually what this video was about, just to show you, don't judge a book by its colour straight away, just try and learn as much about the route and what and all the safety systems, because I was struggling with the safety systems to start with, but now I'll go down to a T. All I struggle now with is these damn red lights and these trains that just don't want to move. So I think probably best to bring this video to an end at this stage, because this could be a long wait and there's no point us all being bored. I'm just going to wait out and see what happens, see if anything happens for a little bit longer, maybe give it another 10 minutes and then see where we go from there. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I might do another one, try and get a full run, proper run. They are on there, I've done them before. Yeah, I do like Harlem as a route, but I think it needs a few changes to it, especially on these dead trains. They shouldn't really be sitting here for this amount of time. So if you like what you've watched, give it a thumbs up. Sorry that we didn't get to Grand Central Station, but maybe on the next one. Okay, thank you. Taking enough pictures. Oh. Okay, right, having a nightmare today. Just want to get the thing turned off.